Doug Stewart Show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Yes. September 22nd, 2014. And the evolution continues. Yes. What up, ATL? What up, world? What up, America? This is your boy, Doug Stewart. Thank you for joining me on my very first show, the very first episode, the very first minute, the very first hour, the very first, all of that stuff coming to you live and in effect. Thank you very much for joining your boy. Thank you very much for passing the word and telling people and just spreading it and doing all of those good things. I really do appreciate it. This show is going to be just like the Two Live Stews, basically. It's going to be the stews, except for it's just me. It's just one stew. The other stew is coming on later today, and he's got a huge announcement. But as far as this show, it's just one stew. It's me, but it's just like the stews. All right. So if you listen to the stews over the last decade or so, you know how we get down. You know how we do it. We're going to take a lot of calls. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to read emails, text messages, and the biggest thing is I'm going to let you speak your mind about these sports, because what I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks is just a travesty as far as the sports world and sports talk in general and what you're seeing out of these professional leagues, in particular the NFL. And we're going to get into that a little bit later, obviously, but the show is basically the Stews Unleashed. And it's kind of like HBO in effect compared to network TV. I can say what I want. I can do what I want. I'm my own boss. I can cuss if I even want to. I'm not going to do a lot of that. I may have to at some point if I get infuriated enough. But for the most part, it's just a show. It's just going to be me talking smack, having a good time. Now, a lot of people have been asking, and you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of people have been asking, how y'all doing? What y'all been up to? This, that, and the other. And we are fine. And I said this when I was doing the YouTube show, which the YouTube show is pretty much being, the place is being taken by this show. I said, we are fine. Do you realize that this month makes 2 years that the Stews haven't been on radio? Yes, 2 years. And oh my gosh, I can tell you some of the stories, and maybe I'll tell you in the book. But 2 years we haven't been on radio, so I'm back right now. My brother's going to come on a little bit later and tell you what he has going on. As far as me doing a lot of things, I said thank you to everybody that tagged me or tagged the show. Post that I posted on Facebook yesterday, spreading the word about the show and that we were going live today. But I'm fine. We fine. My kids are blessed. What I'm doing right now is the HBCU Playback Game of the Week on Aspire. Okay, me and my girl Rashawn Ali. Y'all know Rashawn Ali. If you're from Atlanta, you definitely know Rashawn Ali. Was on radio for years, a couple of different places. So me and Rashawn are doing the HBCU Playback Game of the Week on Aspire. Now Aspire's on in Atlanta. It's on channel 188. So shouts out to Ty Johnson, one of the executives down there, Paul Butler. It's owned by Magic Johnson. So basically we're highlighting and talking, giving some history, some facts. It's basically like the NFL Countdown, but it's HBCU oriented and talking about some past games and some past classic games in HBCU football. Rashawn went to FAMU. I went to South Carolina State. So that's right up our alley. So that's going fantastic. We're taping more episodes of that. I'm also doing a pregame sports desk for Impact Church in East Point, Atlanta. All right. And basically what that is like a sports desk as well, and very innovative, kind of a unique, different idea where you come in and get the participants of the church excited about coming to church on Sunday morning, and you know how it is during football season if you a dude, and the fact that you got to go to church, so it kind of gets you in a football mood. It's a great thing. Shouts out to the pastor, Olu Brown, as well as my producer, Tree Taylor, who's actually works for this show, and she's the producer for the Impact Pregame Experience show. So I'm doing that. I did the preseason luncheon for the SIAC. Shouts out to Commissioner Gregory Moore, Ruben Perez, taking kids on college tours. If you follow me on Facebook, you saw I took my daughter Kayla on a magical mystery tour, 4 colleges in the Southeast. We went to Tuskegee, Albany State, Georgia Southern, and then we went to Savannah State. So I'm doing that. Parties. I'm having the big party, the bang, shebang, blowout party for the Atlanta Classic, in which my team, the South Carolina State Bulldogs, come to town, taking on the North Carolina A&T Aggies. So just a lot going on. We blessed, and it's been 2 years, and it seems like somebody's sprinkling a little salt on you boys, but that's all right. We gonna eat. These kids gonna eat. My nephew's gonna eat. My children gonna eat. We all gonna eat. Period. That won't be stopped. That won't be stopped. And this show right here is going to be the biggest thing online. It's going to be the biggest thing online. That's right. I said it. Within 1 month, I'm predicting that the show for the people is going to be the biggest show online. I really do believe that. I really do believe that, because y'all going to pass the word. Y'all going to get people excited about it. We're going to do the damn thing. All right. Now, let me give you some of the other housekeeping notes. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. That's the number, 404-382-0338. You can also text me at 770-847-0536. You can email me, Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The best way, though, is Twitter or Instagram. That's probably the best way to do it. Both The Doug Stewart Show. If you search The Doug Stewart Show on Twitter and on Instagram, you'll find me. I'll pop up, and I'll probably read a lot of the tweets on Twitter, because that's probably the easiest thing. And we were one of the first people to start using Twitter, social networks with the show. And so everybody jumped on afterwards, but I believe we were probably the first one. Just like we started Throwback Thursday, I believe we were the first one using Twitter and Facebook and kind of infusing it into the show to keep abreast and keep tied into our listeners. So make sure you email me, Doug@thedougstewartshow.com, Instagram, Twitter. And once again, the first caller to today's show, I got a surprise for you. I got a surprise for you. The dogs and the poodles, the triple platinums, they're grandfathered in. The triple platinums are grandfathered in. So if you're a triple platinum listener, and not everybody can be a triple platinum listener. A triple platinum listener is somebody that called the show during the very first week that we aired way back in 2001. That's right. Way back in 2001. So a lot of stuff going on, man, but we're going to take a lot of calls. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to be real Big Willie style. Now, today is going to be a Baller and Buster Monday. Tomorrow is going to be a Trivia Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm thinking it's going to be a Woman Wednesday, but we're also going to incorporate some other things with that as well. And then as well as Thursday is going to be Throwback Thursday. And Friday, Friday it's going to be a Football Friday. That's what we're going to have on a Football Friday. So it's going to be very good. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to take a lot of phone calls, and we're going to do that. Now, today is a Baller and Buster Monday, and so the ballers and busters I'm going to throw out there are pretty obvious. If you're living in Atlanta, you know the ballers and the busters that we have. The Baller Award goes to our Atlanta Falcons, who just whooped the hell out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, just destroyed them. I mean, it was so ugly, and that's one of the most ugly games you'll probably ever see on TV. 56-14. Just destroyed Tampa Bay, so they get the first Baller Award of the show. Now, my first Buster Award, on the flip side of that, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You talk about horrible. I mean, just terrible. Terrible what happened with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They couldn't stop anything. And if you really ask me, and if you saw the game, you know this, the Atlanta Falcons probably could have put up 75 points. I know they can. I know they could put up 75 points if they wanted to. They really kind of called the dogs off in the second half. So just a fantastic win. Now the Falcons are 2-1, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just struggling. And the interesting thing about what happened in that game is I started looking at some of the talent that Tampa Bay has on that team, and they got a nice squad. Tampa Bay has a nice squad. Michael Johnson, a defensive end. They've got a bunch of guys that are ballers, like some of the best specimen athletes that you will ever see in the NFL. They got Daquan Bowers, who was a high draft pick out of Clemson. So it's shocking to see how bad they are. Now, Lovie Smith is a fantastic coach. He's a fantastic coach, but right now he's struggling. And the guy is proven. He obviously took a team to the Super Bowl, so you know that he can coach. You know that he's a great coach. And he's going to turn this thing around. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. But right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers suck. They absolutely suck, okay? And our Atlanta Falcons right now are 2-1. What do you think about that? Do you think the Falcons are for real? They're 2-1. They got a great win against New Orleans in dramatic fashion. Had the tough loss against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. But Cincinnati is one of those. I think Cincinnati is for real. And that's a statement that no one probably has ever uttered in their lifetime, the Cincinnati Bengals being a real team. And I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are a real team. I think that they have great players. I think that they're on the right path. They've made the playoffs the last couple of years. Andy Dalton is one of those guys where they talked about him being, kind of like the weak point of that team. They're built defensively. But I think that they may be pulling this thing together. They've got great wide receivers. Our homeboy A.J. Green from Somerville, South Carolina, former UGA Bulldog, is doing great things. He got injured a couple of weeks ago, but played this past weekend. So they got another win, a great win, as a matter of fact. So there goes my ballers and busters for this weekend. We need your ballers and your busters. Hit your boy up at 404-382-0338. And also you can text me at 770-847-0536. That's the number to the show. And we want to get your thoughts, man. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have my little brother Ryan Stewart on the show, okay, a little bit later. Ryan Stewart's going to come on the show. He has a huge announcement that he's going to make right here. We're going to have the biggest guest. I've got some guests lined up for the week that are just going to blow your socks off, okay? It's going to be top quality, just like the Stews. It's going to be top quality guests, top quality interviews, top quality bits. I'm in negotiations right now. Speaking of bits, I'm in negotiations right now with Little Jorge. That's right. I'm in negotiations with Little Jorge, Yao Ming, Brother Babe, all of them. But the problem is they want to be paid, and I ain't got it. I ain't got it. So we're still in negotiations. Those guys were a big part of our show for many, many years. And so I'm going to definitely implement them in one way by hook or crook. Those guys are going to come on. And it's crazy because my nephew Jorge is negotiating with his uncle. I mean, he's negotiating like a true, Donald Trump or something out this piece about the money he wants and he's worth this and his value and this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, you my nephew, okay? But it doesn't even matter. He wants to be paid, so we're going to get those guys on, and we're going to talk to them, and we're going to talk to those guys and have a lot of fun, just like we always have a lot of fun, and just do it like that. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, the number is 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. And you can also text me at 770-847-0536. Now, when we get back from the break, we're going to grab your ballers and your busters. We got guys lining up right now on the lines. We're going to take your ballers and your busters. And I'm going to tell you the real reason Roger Goodell should be fired. And not for the reasons why people are kind of estimating, but the real reason why Roger Goodell should be fired. We'll talk about that and everything else NFL. And there's so many things that I'm probably going to jump around and not be focused because, there's just been so many things going on over the last couple of weeks, especially with the NFL and all these guys and domestic abuse and spousal abuse and whooping your kid's ass and all of that type stuff. All of that's been going on, and we are going to talk about it. I got to get it off my chest at some point. I hadn't done the Doug Stewart Show on YouTube over the last couple of weeks in preparation for this show, but I'm going to, over the next day or so, get it all out and give you my thoughts. I'm going to tell you why Roger Goodell should be fired. Plain, point, simple. And if you really think about it, you can understand why, but I'm going to tell you why Roger Goodell should be fired, all right? Don't go away. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. I'm always saying get with the times.